Hello and welcome to another episode of I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make one of the fundamentals of cooking. It is called a roux. Now you don't eat a roux in itself, but roux is actually a building block for some delicious things. I'm talking cheese sauces, I'm talking gravy, thickened soups. All of these things can be made with a roux. It only takes a few minutes, and today I'm going to show you how to make roux. Now a roux only takes two ingredients to make, flour and fat. And by fat, I'm talking about butter, for the most part butter. Some roux are made with oil or lard or other things like that, but for our intents and purposes, and for just making an easy roux, we're just gonna use flour and butter. Now, if you watch this channel, you may know that I'm gluten-free. I'm not really able to eat wheat flour. I'm using a gluten-free all-purpose baking flour, and this works just as well. I was really actually happy to know this because roux is so fundamental to cooking that even if you're gluten-free, you can still make roux. But all you'll need is some sort of flour, usually wheat flour, or in this case, a gluten-free flour, and butter. Before we get cooking, really quick, let's talk about tools you'll need. You will need a whisk and you'll need just a small saucepan. Now, because we're going to be using a metal whisk, I recommend using a pan that is safe for metal on metal. So something like a stainless steel pan or an aluminum pan like this anodized Calphalon. Either of these are going to work great. What you don't want to use is something like a non-stick or just a pan that would not be okay for having metal on metal. So again, stick with stainless steel or aluminum. That's going to be the best pan for making a roux. The first thing we're going to do is melt some butter, and for roux, the ratio is just 1:1. So in this case, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of flour. That means we're going to use 2 tablespoons of butter. And here's a pro tip. Most butter packets, they actually have a nice little measurement right on the side. So you can see right here, we're just going to cut off where it says the 2 tablespoon mark. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat to low, and we just want to get this butter melting. And while that's happening, I'm going to measure out my flour. A roux is one of the first things you learn to make in culinary school. And again, it is so foundational to cooking. And once you know how to make this, it's really going to open the door to a lot of different things. Like you'll be able to whip up a cheese sauce just like that. It's amazing. You'll never have to open a can again. So we're just going to melt this butter. It's just going to take a couple minutes. We want the butter to be totally melted. Then we'll add the flour. Okay, our butter is melted. Now it is time to add the flour. So get your whisk and just kind of slowly pour in your flour. And we just want to whisk this and combine it all. And it's going to be a little clumpy at first, but just keep whisking. Keep on whisking. And there are 3 types of roux. There's white, blonde, and then brown. So today we're going to make a white, maybe a blonde roux. And the difference is that it's all based on time and color. So to make a white roux, it's just going to be about 3 to 5 minutes. And the color is, as you might suspect, still pretty white. This is going to be used to make something like a velouté sauce, a really light, creamy sauce. If you cook for a little bit longer, let's say about 5 to 7 minutes, you're going to get into the blonde roux category. And this is the roux that you would use if maybe making like a cheese sauce or beginning like a broccoli cheese soup. And then finally there's brown roux, and that's a really interesting one. This one can cook for a lot longer. You can cook a brown roux for like up to an hour. It's crazy. And brown roux is used a lot in like Cajun cooking and Creole cooking. For a brown roux, you can use different types of fat. You could use oil, you could use bacon renderings, lard. But again, for our simple purpose, we're just going to cook this for a few minutes, and we're going to get into, let's say, a blonde roux. You'll also know you're cooking a blonde roux when you start to smell this nice nutty fragrance. When that flour starts to turn kind of nutty, it just smells delicious. So that is how to make a roux quickly and easily. Now, I'm not going to leave you hanging. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to take this roux and turn it into an amazing cheese sauce that's going to be great for like baked potatoes or broccoli or anything that you can imagine. But that is how to make a roux, and stay tuned for my next video on how to make a cheese sauce. I hope you found this helpful. My name is Chef Matt. This is I Wanna Cook. If you are new to the channel, welcome to my kitchen. This is all about easy recipes and just basically making you a better cook. So hope to see you soon, and watch next time for my next video when we make an amazing cheese sauce.